Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 1 and 2.4, and today we're looking at The Witcher Old World. Ooh, Lipstickpaddy, our host, has been really looking forward to this game, but he's been scratching his head. So let's see what that is all about. So Lipstickpaddy, please take it away. Alright peeps, The Witcher Old World is here. Now I have been tentatively looking forward to this because I'm played all the Witcher games on the PC and I love it. However, the reason I love The Witcher is because of the world building, getting adventure, finding new things, going around the map, and really leveling up my character and doing all the cool stuff and helping people, etc. And it looks like they're trying to whittle this down into a board game. But I think when you're playing the Witcher board game, it's kind of the storylines and the politics in the world and all the good stuff that I think this doesn't have. I mean, it can't possibly bring that, so it's bringing it into what we're going to see here. But I have a bit of a problem with what I see. We'll go down anyway. It's massively successful. 23,000 backers. Good God. And getting up there to 3 million with 2 weeks to go. So let's have a look at this. Now here's my first beef, and it's the board. Because the board doesn't really offer any places you can't go. When big reasons, because it's too dangerous. And when I'm looking at an adventure board game, on my shelf I have Talisman with 4 corner boards, which creates a 1.6 meter square on my table of a massive board that when you adventure round, you have an event deck. Everywhere you go, you're turning loads of adventure cards. You get followers, you get items, magic objects, trinkets. You level up your character on the outside board. Then you go into the mountains, because that's the next level you can go in. It's too hard. Then you hopefully make a lot of money in the mountains. You go down into the city, buy some equipment to gear up, and then go into the dungeon. You might go into the forest to become a legend, and then you can head into the middle to try and finish the game. Played Talisman yesterday. It's fresh in my mind. I love that game. And the game of Talisman is so good because of the cards, the depth of cards around the table. And the one other thing that worries me about this game is the skinniness of the deck, because like, for example, when I played Talisman last night, so many events were happening that completely changed the game. It was like so much darkness was happening in the game. This is my quick aside, peeps. I'll be going down this Kickstarter page, don't worry. Just tell you what happened briefly, though. But it was just an incredible immersiveness due to the events that were happening and the way every player evolved through the game towards the end game was magical, and it was wonderful and so thrilling of an excitement of a 4-hour game we played, 3 of us, on our game night last night. Now, I've been watching the video reviews of The Witcher, and I'm not hearing any of this. Oh my God, this game's so good, this is so exciting. It's like, this game is good. It's not like I want to play the game again. I don't know if they've got like these questions like, I don't know if it's going to be good because I'm going to see the same monsters again, and I'm going to see the same events again. And even though the events have 2 things you can pick from, you're still going to see that card again. So there's this kind of replayability of this adventure board game that is the concerns. And of course, if you've got Talisman with the 4 corners, dear me, you've got vast amount of replayability. You've got like 30 classes that you can choose from, and so much depth to its gameplay in Talisman. And if you think Talisman's roll and move, you've got to be kidding me. If you think Talisman's all about rolling, you've got no idea what that game's all about. Yes, I'm a Talisman fanboy. What can I say? Alright, let's go down. Well, Deluxe Pledge gets you the stretch goals. You're going to have to go for that, aren't you? Because it's giving you more decks. Now, you're only getting 5 characters because you have to be a Witcher in this game, which is fair enough. You do have your own deck. There is kind of this feeling that you when you're leveling your character, you plateau too early in the game, and there's no like higher levels to carry you through to the 2 hours, which what this game's hitting. So looking for some kind of character advancement, at least from some concerns of playthroughs. Now, 15 monster cards, that's concerning, isn't it? Because you're going to see these monsters every time you play it, and it's a bit of a thing of The Witcher, isn't it? That he's going to be fighting these enemies. So if you know, when you play The Witcher, you never feel like you need to go and replay The Witcher. It doesn't have a replayability in it. So I don't know, because if I count the monsters in Talisman, it must be 400 to 500 different monsters you fight for all the decks. Like, vast amount. And when you've got 15, these are definitely going to get old. And it doesn't matter if they've got miniatures. It really doesn't matter. Because, you know, you put in Talisman, if you pull a dragon out and it's like got a strength of 10, it's like, holy smoke! And that card on that tile is like super dangerous just because of the card it is. And here, though, monsters are coming out that you're not really going to be frightened of, are you? And this stuff. And I'm talking about monsters that maybe in an hour you'll be strong enough to go and fight it. There's this kind of thing. Because as a Witcher, you're a superhero, aren't you? You're going to be getting stronger, and you are going above and beyond what the monsters are. You're just going to become a cannonball blowing everything up. Now, I do like the fact that it has got this exploration deck, though, but it is a bit skinny at 72 cards. That's kind of what you might get as an expansion corner for Talisman, and it would add 72 cards to the main board deck. And so it's like, And I don't like the fact that these cards all have a place on the table. For me, what I love about Talisman is you've got this big deck and you don't know what's coming. You don't know if you're going to pull a monster, you don't know if you're going to pull an exploration card or an event card or a help card. So I don't know why they split the deck up, and I would have preferred just one big random deck the way Talisman deals it out. And it's a random event game. That's what I feel. And if I did play this, I would probably suggest a game rule in it just to try it out that way. And when you play The Witcher anyway, when you roll into a village, you've got no idea what's going on anyway. There is an unpredictability of that. Right, so we're coming down now. They are stretching out. So we've got more exploration cards and more event cards. This is fantastic. So this is now getting up there to 150. This is getting great. There's this Wildhood expansions. This is pushing more cards out. But in these stretch goals, we're getting some extra monsters, which is definitely needed. But is there any kind of Witcher upgrade cards? Now the expansion says special fight cards, so that could be some extra levels or some more interesting stuff. And there's this Monster Trail expansion here as well, not looking like it's adding it, but it is. This one's the best one of them locks. It's going to add more monster cards. So this is going to be great. So you're kind of compelled to get all this stuff because the game lives or dies on the size of its decks, because that's where all the content of the gameplay is coming from. You know, you're playing it for that kind of, oh, what we're going to get today in this game? What's going to happen today? How's my character going to roll today? What's going to happen with them? Now the boards, dual boarded, looking nice. Nice hero image, beautiful art. And I'll tell you, the teams that are working on this, massive. It's like 20 people on Go On Board, 20 people at CD Projekt Red. So it's like a big development team on here. So yeah, it is looking stellar. I like the bases because they are like got terrain on the bases. They're looking sweet. They come in with their own decks, but this is the kind of the concern is you plateau in strength before the end of the game. So I don't know. And hopefully it's a success and they come back with a big box expansion in the future. Monsters are looking fantastic though. This is a reason to go in for the pledge. And the art on the cards is absolutely beautiful. They've obviously got the CD Projekt Red art team on this and it's looking absolutely superb. I like the fact that each monster is doing something a little bit different as well. And, this Leshin here is like a rank 3. We've got the Griffin at rank 2, lesser health. And, yeah, so the scaling, it's like this Necker's Nest here is like a level 1. That should be like, okay, level 1, yeah. But if you're fighting this massive Leshin here, should he not be like level 10 compared to the Necker here? So I don't feel like the 3 levels of monsters is big enough. I would have preferred it to be a bigger scale. Like in Talisman, you're fighting stuff at level 1, with a rank 1. You can fight dragons at rank 10. So there's like a nice creep. What would have been nice, because for example, if it's a beast, you can use your steel sword, but if you're fighting something that is supernatural, like this bar geist here is supernatural, you've got to use your silver sword. And I don't know why they've just got one deck here, because you can see the witches all have 2 swords. They've got one on their back and one in their hand. They have to have the 2 swords. It's a thing. I don't think... I would have preferred it though if your witcher could actually start to craft better swords, get different swords. You've got 2 weapons that need to upgrade. You could be getting better armor for your character. Also, that would have been nice to have some kind of... Because in The Witcher, you defeat a monster, you're ripping its head off, you're putting it on your horse, and you're handing that in to get some money. And that would have been great to have a shop in this world to actually buy some stuff for your gear. So I feel like this adventure game as a Witcher is kind of missing stuff that would be great that Talisman does. You defeat an enemy, you can maybe sell that. This is Witcher theme now. Bring it in for a reward and what you're going to spend your money on, and yeah, buy a better sword, craft a better sword, get some better armor, buy some potions, because all part of The Witcher is like, I know I'm going to fight the Griffin. I'm sitting down on the floor drinking some potions before I go and fight him in The Witcher. Like, I'm preparing before battle, and that would be great. I'm going to fight the Griffin now, but I've got the before fight mode. I bought some potions. I'm taking them now before this battle to give me strength. And a lot of these monsters, if they were like heavily scaled up, they would be a very big challenge to fight, and you would need to like get better gear for your Witcher. But as these boards are looking, you've just got 16 cubes to level in. It doesn't look like you guys getting any gear or anything like that. So that's kind of a miss for me. Because if you're in an adventure, it's nice to actually go shopping, upgrade your character. That's what role-playing's all about. And I think it's losing that aspect of the Witcher roleplay in the game. And would it be so hard to put a shop in the game with better armor and give you attributes? You know, like, even if it's boring stuff like +1 for your silver sword, you know, extra defense, you know, Now, you've got like these gold tokens, but where's the shop? Where is it? Now, in this event deck here, we can see a crossbow here. This is equipment that your character can get. But why isn't there, like, a lot of explaining of this? Like, I want to see someone's board where they've got a crossbow, they've got some upgraded heavy leather armor, they've got an upgraded sword. We haven't got this kind of thing, and it's kind of missing from videos that I've seen. So I don't know if it is in it here, but the crossbow here has got me kind of like, what's this entailed? So, and one of the beautiful things about Talisman is one of the corner expansions is a city with like 12 shops you can go in, and it's not just a little shop, it's like a vast city. And you visit in these big cities like Novigrad here, the capital city, and like, you can't go shopping in different places. There should be like a city board. I don't know if this is kind of expansion content where you could go actually to inside the city on a city board, but it looks like they're trying to just keep it within that one board here, and that for me is like limited experience. So yeah, they're kind of adding monsters, which is all cool. They're adding cards because, you know, it needs it. And it's adding monsters because it needs it. But I don't know, I think it needs to do more though. I just think it does need to do, it needs to do more. But there's like a jack ton of people on this game. They're obviously psyched for this. But I'm thinking that if you're not excited for this game and you want this bigger adventure with areas that you can only go to when you're strong, and an amazing roleplay game with great shops to go in and events, random encounters up the wazoo, then Talisman, with its 4 corners at retail, I bet you get that, all that, for less than $150. And you'll have a massive table presence, ton of characters, massive decks to pull from, with makes the game unique every time you play it. And here we're going to be seeing a lot of enemies the same. I mean, look at this for an upgrade. You can change your name of your character. Name tokens. What a strange thing. Plastic insert with the cover should be there already. And these custom dice looking fantastic. Bomb cards. This is some more equipment that you're getting. Yeah, this is all nice. Coming through the stretch goals. A lot more bombs are coming. No sign of other stuff though. God, look, there's like a fascination of different bombs, isn't there? Where's this come from? So yeah, if you watch the playthroughs, listen to their excitement. There's not a lot out there. The worriness was the decks. I think the deck system has been solved. With all these, if you get the full deluxe box, you're getting the full rich experience with all the expansion boxes. And you'll have that kind of replayability, but I just think it's not there though for me because of Talisman on my shelf. And Talisman for me is a hoot. I love it. Everyone who plays it know it's going to be a 4-hour experience. They bring a 6-pack of beer or bottle of wine and we enjoy that evening. And The Witcher is giving you 2 hours of a limited experience with a board where you're traveling around picking up quests and stuff, but your character advancement here looks like it plateaus too early and you end up becoming a wrecking ball. So just make stronger enemies then. Bring out like more classes of enemies, make it stronger, and hopefully in the future we actually get an extension to the board where you can actually visit Nivridad City, or however it's pronounced, and go in there and buy some cool things for your Witcher, because he's not just gaining experience, he does wear different get-ups and can get better swords and stuff like that. And I didn't mention that there's this daft poker dice in the game, which is kind of strange because The Witcher had like an amazing card game in the video game, which they then brought out into a video game of just the card game. And to reduce that down to dice poker is like, it's like, just get rid of it. It's like an unnecessary thing to do. Anyway, there we go. The Witcher, the Old World. I'm not hot on this tile because of the role-playing element just isn't there. There's no crafting. You can't get better gear. There's no shops you can go to, different places. The enemies are not frightening enough that you would completely avoid them until maybe even an hour later in the game. And because when you play The Witcher, the world is dangerous. It is vastly dangerous, and I think this board game is set to be a little bit gateway plus for potentially bringing people into the board game world that only play video games. That is where it's at. But I just think even if it is gameplay plus, I don't think having stronger enemies makes it difficult, and I don't think adding a shop and letting you buy different gear for your Witcher would have changed any of that. But hey. But if you are buying into this though, and you are really excited for the box, one thing you need to wonder about, can it be expanded on? And the way they've developed the map here, the board, they definitely can. To the west, the sea, you can definitely get the islands out there. And above the mountains to the south and the north, you can definitely get extension boards for this. So that does excite me. And trust me, if it does start to get expansion boards where you can travel around and brings in a city in the future, then the wind will change for me and I'll be hot for it. So it's already a massive success. It does look to be a good game, but with expansion boards and more places to visit and travel, more dangerous enemies in certain sections to actually feel like you're going on an adventure, not just rolling around this little continent here. That's what I kind of want to see. And so yeah, on the first Kickstarter, I'm kind of hesitant now. I've gone from tentative to hesitant, and I'll wait for the second Kickstarter when it brings out the big box expansion, and fingers crossed it is a board, because I think all these backers will love the concepts I've been bringing up here, where if you got an extra board you can travel to with more dangerous monsters, and a city where you can actually spend your gold and buy better equipment, and have the concept of crafting and stuff like that, and they've got these things that they can add into it. But I think it's a good baseline they're coming in at here. I think if you're coming in and you don't even know what Talisman is, or you don't like Talisman, then I think this is a good alternative. So 2 hours, not 4 hours. and it has scope to get expanded. Definitely has that. So fingers crossed this is just the start of the Witcher board games series and it does start to expand. So yes, that's my bottom line on this. I will wait for the second Kickstarter, and fingers crossed that expansion box changes the wind where I'll need to pick it up. I'll need to pick everything up again. So that's where I am. Well, let me know what you think of The Witcher. Are you a backer? Let me know what got you excited so you can share that with our community, because I'm sure our community like to go down in the comments and read what people are saying. And yeah, tell me if you are bamboozled by what the heck is Talisman, because if I get enough people in the comments going Talisman, I'll do a special video on tell you why that game is so special. Because that is an action-packed adventure board game, and it is full of immersive choices and excitingly fresh mechanics. Is that? Alright peeps, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, do leave a comment down below as you see fit. I've been your host Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and bye bye for now.